multiply by tens. As we begin Chapter 3, we are going to revisit some of the skills we've learned in Chapters 1 and 2 to demonstrate to the boys and girls there are many ways of multiplying, and they are certainly allowed to use the ones that make most sense to them on the problems that arise. So we're going to review today many of the different ways that we can multiply by tens. Let's have a look. We have one way that we call the place value method. Here, if we have a problem 30 times 20, we can ask ourselves, that's the same thing as 30 times how many tens? And that would be 2 tens. And if we stack our equal signs, 30 times 2 is 60, so that would be 60 tens. And of course, 60 tens is equal to 600. So that is one way of multiplying by tens, is to break up one of the factors into the number of tens that we have and then multiply it through. Another way of doing that same exact problem is using the associative property. The associative property tells us that it does not matter how we group our factors, we will always end up with the same product. So again, in 30 times 20, that's the same thing as 30 times 2 times 10. But we could rewrite that as 30 times 2 times 10. And we like multiplying by 10 because it's just like multiplying by 1 and sticking a 0 on the end. Now this is a problem boys and girls should be able to do here. 30 times 2 would be 60 times 10. And of course, 60 times 1 is 60. And then you stick the 0 on the end, 600. We get the same answer as the last problem because 30 times 20 will always equal 600 no matter how you go about multiplying. We could use a number line, particularly when we get to facts that we do not have memorized. Our 15s times tables are not memorized in 4th grade. So if we drew a timeline, we could do 15 times 2 and see what that would net us. So we started at 0 and we did 15. Skip counted by 2's 15 times. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We would get to 30. So 15 times 2 is 30. So 15 times 20 would be 30 with a 0 on the end. So sometimes a number line is helpful for us to complete our multiplication. We also have a strategy of using mental math in dealing with halves. 12 times 40 may be a difficult problem for the boys and girls, but if they had 6 times 40, which is half of 12, now we're down to a basic fact that they very well should know, 6 times 4, which is 24, and stick the 0 on the end. That is something, the 6 times 4 is something boys and girls learned in 3rd grade. We learned here in 4th grade that when we multiply by tens, we're just adding a 0 to the end of the product. So 6 times 40 is 240, and then we double that because 6 is only half of 12. We add it together. We get 480. So that is a strategy boys and girls can do as well, to take half of the product and then double the product, or half of the factor, excuse me, and then double the product. And then the last way, which is my preferred way, taking that same problem. Now, as I showed you here, boys and girls should know 6 times 4. In 4th grade, we extend the facts that boys and girls should know out to the 12s. So 12 times 4 is a basic fact that we expect them to know in 4th grade, and of course that's 48, and then we stick the 0 on the end. So we have 4 different ways five different ways of multiplying by 10. We can use place value, we can use the associative property, we can use a number line, mental math, you having the factors and then doubling the product, and then our basic facts. These are all ways we can multiply by tens and be successful in fourth grade.